This lesson covers the concepts of doubles and foils, and it looks at the use of these two literary devices in the Iliad. Your keywords are double and foil. You should also know who Achilles' double is and who Achilles' foil is. A double is a person who physically appears as another person, kind of like a twin. You might also have heard the word doppelganger. They physically look like they are someone else. They may also be a person whose life parallels another character, but it's primarily focused on the appearance. Their appearance is similar in some way, shape, or form. They look like this other person. Doubles are used to illustrate contrasts, or they can be used for foreshadowing. A character in the story who contrasts with another character is a foil. They have similar life positions or options, and they have a key difference in the attitude or choice or the outcomes that they receive. They're used to illustrate a theme. We saw double or foils in The Most Dangerous Game between our hunter and our crazy hunter, who took it one step further on illustrating the theme of whether or not sport hunting was moral. We see foils again in the Iliad. So, a foil may be a double, but they don't always physically resemble another person. However, they will always have a similar history and options and conflicts to overcome, but they will have key differences in their attitude or the choices they make, and thus the outcomes they get. And this will be used to illustrate this theme, the point of view that the author wants the audience to take. Achilles' double is Patroclus. He's raised in Phthia, like Achilles. He's an excellent fighter, like Achilles. Not as good, but still very good. And later in the story, he will put on Achilles' armor and take his appearance. This is when Patroclus becomes Achilles' double. This is used for foreshadowing of Achilles' fate. Patroclus will die because he has put on Achilles' armor. In fact, he dies at Hector's hand, which in turn becomes a plot device. But more importantly, because Patroclus as Achilles has died, we know that Achilles will not escape his fate either, and he will die in the Battle of Troy. This is also used to illustrate the cost of Achilles' decision. Because Achilles was prideful and let his anger rule him, he lost the best friend who was most dear to him, because that best friend took his place in battle. Achilles' foil is Hector, the man who takes Patroclus' life in battle. Hector parallels Achilles' life in that Achilles is a king of Phthia, Hector is a prince of Troy. Achilles is a hero of Greece, and Hector is a hero of Troy. They are both great warriors. Achilles is aggressive. However, Hector is peaceful. He's a good fighter, but it's not in his nature to want battle and war. He's devoted to his best friend, and Hector is devoted to his family. This is similar, but also a little bit different. Achilles is devoted to one person, whereas Hector is devoted to a staple of community life, his family. Both are fated to die in the Trojan War. Hector at Achilles' hand, Achilles at the hand of Hector's brother, Paris. Achilles questions the worth of the heroic system by challenging Agamemnon and the war itself. Hector lives the ideal of the heroic system. So where Achilles is illustrating how it doesn't work, Hector is showing how it does. This is, again, used to show the other point of view in Achilles' question to the effectiveness of the heroic society. They will develop this theme by contrasting each other as the narrative goes on. Your application here is that you need to be able to watch for these comparisons and contrasts between Achilles and Patroclus, and between Achilles and Hector. How are they alike and how are they different? And you need to be speculating on what this is showing you. How is it developing themes, especially whether or not an individual can live in a society and find a place outside of its confines, whether or not a heroic society is effective, and also some on the cost of rage and pride.